Look at that number, 0.9 hours. 9 hours yesterday. On a phone, that's more time than most people spend sleeping. More time in a full school day. More time than almost anything else in your life. And here's the part that should scare you. You don't even remember what you watched. Beat. Silence. You wake up in the morning, and before your eyes are even fully open, your hand is already reaching for it. It's not a choice anymore. It's a reflex. A habit so deep it doesn't even feel like a habit. You scroll through videos you didn't plan to watch. You check notifications from people you don't care about. You open an app, close it, and open it again 3 seconds later, without even realizing you did it. And then you wonder why you can't focus. Why the day disappears. Why the goals you set on January 1st are still sitting untouched in October. That I wonder the same thing. So I made a decision that most people would call extreme. I gave up my phone. Completely. For 7 days. No social media. No YouTube. No texting for fun. No scrolling. Just me and whatever was left of my actual brain. What happened over those 7 days changed the way I think about attention, ambition, and what's quietly stealing your future right now. Stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you're going to see your phone very, very differently. Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you sat alone in silence for 20 minutes without reaching for your phone? Not meditating. Not working. Just sitting. For most people, that question is genuinely uncomfortable to answer. And that discomfort, that's the problem. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain. Every time you get a like, a comment, a new video recommendation, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical of reward, of motivation, of yes, do that again. It's the same system that makes food feel good. That makes achievement feel satisfying. But here's what social media figured out, and what they spent billions of dollars perfecting. They hacked that system. The infinite scroll has no ending, because an ending would make you stop. The autoplay feature removes the moment of choice, because choice might mean stopping. The algorithm learns exactly what keeps you watching, because every second you stay is money for them. You're not the user. You're the product. And the result? Your brain gets so used to fast, cheap dopamine, the kind that requires zero effort, that everything else starts to feel impossible. Studying for 30 minutes feels like torture. Starting a project feels unbearable. Reading a book feels boring after 1 page. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack willpower, but because your brain's reward system has been reprogrammed without your permission. You became someone who starts things but never finishes them. Someone who has big dreams but can't sit still long enough to work toward them. That was me. And if you're honest with yourself, that might be you too. Day one started at 6 a.m. I put my phone in a box. Literally. I taped it shut and put it somewhere I couldn't easily reach without a ladder. By 9 a.m., I wanted to tear the box open. Not because I had anything urgent. Not because I was expecting an important call. I just felt wrong. Like something was missing. Like a limb had been removed. I sat at my desk to study, and I didn't know what to do with my hands. I kept glancing at the corner of the desk where my phone usually sat. My brain was sending signals. Check it, check it, check it. There was nothing to check. But the signal kept firing. This is withdrawal. And I mean that seriously, not as an exaggeration. Behavioral researchers have documented that smartphone withdrawal produces symptoms nearly identical to substance withdrawal: anxiety, restlessness, inability to concentrate, irritability, even physical discomfort. By the end of day one, I had a low-grade headache, and I'd reorganize my desk 3 times just to have something to do with the nervous energy. Day 2 was worse. The boredom became almost philosophical. I'd sit down to read, and my mind would wander in 40 directions. I'd start a sentence and forget what I was reading by the end of it. I felt slow, foggy, disconnected. But here's what I began to understand on day 2. This discomfort is not a problem. It is the process. The full dopamine detox protocol isn't about punishment. It's about allowing your brain to reset, to return to its baseline after months or years of overstimulation. The boredom isn't emptiness. It's your mind starting to heal. By day 3, something subtle shifted. The desperate urge to reach for the phone quieted slightly. Not gone, but softer. I started to notice things I hadn't noticed before. The actual sound of the room. My own thoughts, uninterrupted for the first time in a long time. I started writing in a notebook. Just thoughts. Random ones. But mine. Day 4. I woke up, and for the first time, I didn't immediately feel that phantom reach. That automatic impulse. I made coffee. I sat by the window. I watched the morning for a few minutes without documenting it, without filtering it, without sharing it. Just watching. Just being there. And then I opened my textbook, and something remarkable happened. I read for 2 hours straight. No Detox. No distraction. No urge to stop. The material that had seemed unbearable 2 weeks ago now had texture. Depth. I was making connections, asking questions, thinking ahead to what the concepts meant. My brain, starved of cheap stimulation, had remembered how to find reward in real thinking. This is the science behind what was happening. When you remove low-effort dopamine sources, your brain doesn't just give up on reward. It recalibrates. It starts finding satisfaction in harder, slower, deeper activities, the ones that used to feel impossible. By day 5, I was sleeping better than I had in years. Falling asleep faster. Waking up without that groggy, heavy-eyed feeling that I'd always blamed on not being a morning person. Turns out, I was a morning person. I was just poisoning my sleep with 2 hours of screen exposure every night before bed, flooding my brain with blue light and algorithmic stimulation right when it needed to be winding down. Day 6, I finished a book, cover to cover in one day. A real book, something I hadn't done in over 2 years. And it didn't feel like an achievement. It felt normal, like this was just what my brain could do when I wasn't constantly interrupting it. By day 7, the final day, I sat down and wrote out my goals. Real ones, specific ones, not the vague, I want to be successful list that feels good to write at midnight and means nothing by noon. Real steps, real timelines, real commitment. And I felt for the first time in a long time like those goals were actually mine, not just things I was chasing because an algorithm told me I should want them. I wasn't a prisoner of the digital world anymore. I was the owner of my own time. 7 days. That's all it took. 7 days to remember what my brain was actually capable of. 7 days to rediscover the ability to focus, to think deeply, to feel genuinely satisfied without needing a screen to validate it. And here's the hardest truth I walked away with. The thing standing between you and your goals is not your talent. It's not your circumstances. It's not the time you were born in or the opportunities you haven't had yet. It's that rectangle in your pocket and the algorithms that have spent years and billions of dollars learning exactly how to keep you on it for as long as possible. You are in a war for your own attention, and most people don't even know they're fighting it. But now you do. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Not someday, not next Monday, but today. Open your phone's screen time settings right now. Look at the number. Really look at it. And ask yourself, is this how I want to be spending my life? You don't have to do 7 days cold. Start with one morning or one evening. Put the phone in a different room for 3 hours and just see what your mind does when it has space to breathe. You might be uncomfortable. You probably will be. That discomfort is your brain waking up. Don't run from it. Sit with it, because on the other side of that discomfort is the version of you that actually finishes things, that actually builds things, that actually becomes the person you keep telling yourself you're going to be. Before you go, I want to ask you one question. What's the single biggest thing that steals your time and focus every day? Is it social media, the endless scroll, the comparison, the highlight reels? Is it random videos? One turning into 10, turning into 3 hours gone? Or is it overthinking? That loop in your head that feels productive but produces nothing? Tell me in the comments. Because the first step to reclaiming your life isn't a 7-day detox. It's being honest about what's actually taking it from you. Your future is being built or destroyed by what you do with your attention today. Choose wisely, and let's grow together.